It all started that first day of school. I remember going home just bawling to my parents, begging them to homeschool me because I couldn't take one more day of going back to school to get made fun of, laughed at, called names by some of my classmates. And that first day was one day too much. But then there was the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth day of school of me going home just bawling to my parents, begging them to homeschool me because I couldn't take one more day of going back to school. As a result, there was a time in my life where I felt alone, I felt abandoned. I thought I was worthless. I thought I was an embarrassment, a failure, a burden to my parents, my friends, my family. I had all this pain, all this hurt, and I would have given anything not to go back to school one more day. I would have given anything not to face a few of my classmates. So I thought, why not just put it into it? Why not just put it into all this pain, all this hurt? But for me, that's not where my story starts. For me, my story, my struggles, and my fight to survive all started before I was born. Before I was born, I had a blood clot in my brain. And as a result, I lost 1/3 of my cerebellum on the bottom right side of my brain. And growing up, the doctors said that I would never get to experience a normal childhood, meaning I would never get to experience what all other kids get to experience growing up, going outside, ride a bike, climb trees, build forts, or throw a football, a baseball around with my dad or my brother. That is where my story begins. When I see the gym filling up, I think of all the broken and the hurt kids because I know what it's like. I've been there. I felt the pain. I felt the hurt. I start by asking this one question, and the question is, how many of you will be going to class after this orientation? And the reason I ask that one simple question is because I want them to realize how serious bullying is and how it can literally ruin a life. Because each and every day, there will be 165,000 students that will not be going to class in fear that they will be bullied. And in my presentation, I use my life experiences to draw the students in and to encourage them to stand up for others and tell them that they're made for greatness for a reason, for a purpose. Because it is my passion to show others that they are made for greatness. They are made for a reason, for a purpose. And I also want to encourage them to stand up for others, but more importantly, encourage them to tell their story. Because that is where the healing begins. It begins with them telling their story. So let me tell mine.